What's going on, guys? I'm just gonna make a quick video here on my MacBook. Now, I've had this thing for years and it's gotten to the point where I'm just doing random stuff, not even editing videos or anything like that, and the fans really start to ramp up. And I was thinking, well, I did a video on the PlayStation Pro and I cleaned it all out and all the dust and crap that's in there, so I thought, hey, I'll do the same thing with the MacBook and hopefully it'll quiet it down. And it did. So let's do that. And before we get started here, make sure you shut down your computer just in case anything happens with the battery. Nothing should happen, but just to be on the safe side, shut down your computer before you do this. There's only one tool you need, and it's just one to take off the back panel of your MacBook Pro. So over here I've got a whole toolkit. If you need this, I'll link it down below. I got this off Amazon, and it's got pretty much everything you'll ever need on here. It's got pentalobe, star, Phillips, flathead, everything you need for any sort of repairs. I use this for everything, but the one I'm using is actually a star bit. It's not one of the pentalobe ones you use for an iPhone. It's a star bit, and I'm using this one right here. It's a 1.2, so if that helps you out, I hope it does. If not, then you can always get that one on Amazon. It's just a few bucks. But if you have that, that's the type that you need. And you're just gonna go around and take out all of these screws along the sides. Alright, now I have all of the screws along the border of this taken out. Now there's nothing holding this in place. The only difficult part here is to kind of get it started because it is flush all the way through here. You can see the outline of where this back panel comes off. So I usually start up here, up at the top where it says MacBook right there. Start up there and you can pop this thing open. So once we get this open, I'll set that off to the side. You can see all the internal components. Now, like I said, this is pretty easy. You don't have to touch any of the stuff in here, and all you have to do is come in here where the two fans are and also where the intakes are and clean it all out. So this is a better view of what you're gonna be taking a look at. Now, the best thing that I used when I went through here and cleaned it out is a toothbrush. Just an old toothbrush that's not nasty or anything like that, clean bristles, and you can just use the bristles to go through here and clean out all of the crap that's in here and clean it through. So I start over here. So this is where the intakes are for the fans, and then this is where your actual fans are. So I clean up right in here, get all the dust out in between here. So that's your little intake, get all the crap out of there. Same thing on this side. So you've got two there, and then you've got it right up here, the actual fans themselves. So you can spin this freely. You can get, I had chunks of dust built up in here that was just flying around. So if you got any weird smells or this thing ramps up really quick, it's all that dust. And once you're done cleaning all the crap out of there and the crap up there, you also have the outlet, which is up here. Clean that up. And then once you're all done, you can go ahead and clean up the rest of this. Just be gentle because, you know, obviously all the logic board, motherboard stuff, you don't want to unplug anything by accident. But any dust that you see in there, you can dust away, get it out of the way. If you have compressed air, you can use compressed air. But just go through here and make sure it is nice and clean. And this is definitely going to fix any sort of over ramping when it doesn't need to issues. So you can see, even though I did a quick clean beforehand, I still had dust in there. Basically all I did was I went through the fans, got my toothbrush and brushed out along the fins. It got all the crap out of there, and anything that was still left in there or around the side, you just blow into it. It spins the fan and it blows all the dust out. Now once you're done with that, the second part you got to clean are these little fins. These are your radiator fins. This is what gets cooled for your heat pipe through here. So once your fan is clean, then clean this one. It's kind of like cleaning top to bottom in a house. You clean the top so all the stuff falls down onto the floor, and last but not least, you sweep the floor and everything's done. You don't want to start with the floor and then move up so stuff falls on the floor, then you have to clean the floor again. So clean the fan out, and then it all blows out through the fins, then clean all the chunks out of the fins, because these are the key components right here that cool it. The fan just brings air over those fins. And once you get all of the dust out of here and it's nice and clean, it is very simple putting it back on. You just grab the plate that you already took off, set it back on top, make sure everything's aligned and the edges are flush when they go back on, because that's how it needs to go back on. So I just threw it back on here. You can kind of see you've got a little bit of a gap over here, and then when I check over here, it might be hard to see on camera, but I've got kind of a bump. I can put my finger under there, so it's not in the right place. So I'm gonna lift it up, try to put it back, and once this thing is perfectly flush, then you go around and start putting the screws back in. All right guys, and just like that, we're finished. It's super simple, just the same screw all the way around, and then once you're done with that, the most time you're gonna take is cleaning out those chunks of lint and dust and crap that gets stuck in there. And once you're done with that, it's gonna be so much smoother going. And a quick tip for you guys is to keep it cool as possible is where those intakes were that I told you about. Now those intakes bring the air in, so if you can keep those clear, say it's on your lap and you have a blanket on or maybe clothes or something like that, if wherever you have it sitting, make sure those intakes are clear. The outtake doesn't matter too much because it's on both sides. It comes straight out and it comes up to where your screen is, and it also goes down. So just keep that in mind, keep the intakes and the outtakes opened up, and that'll also help you out a little bit more. In the comments below, let me know what kind of nasty stuff you found in your MacBook. Ugh.